Ever since the Tokyo Revengers manga ended back in 2022, the hype around the anime also died with it, mainly because everyone was hating on the manga ending, but I didn't read it, so I'm still enjoying the series. But from what I've heard, the Tokyo Revengers Tenjiku arc is apparently one of the best in the manga, which was one of the reasons that enticed me to make my fall 2023 seasonal video.
5 months later.
But just a couple days ago, I convinced myself to watch the first episode. Let's just say I didn't go to bed that night. I'll be honest, this was pretty freaking amazing. To think that I've heard close to zero talk about the Tokyo Revengers newest arc, and I'm chronically online, so you'd think I'd hear a thing or two, or at least see a clip pop up on my For You page. But before I mention some of my favorite parts throughout this arc, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're trying to hit 3K subs before the end of April. Now I think I'm just going to start with the part that had me the most shocked, Emma's death. Holy shit, I was holding back tears. The funny thing is, back when the first season finished airing, I was actually spoiled about this on TikTok. Big surprise, that she would eventually die. I just had totally forgotten. I didn't even catch on to the obvious backstories and kill the character trope. And to think they'd kill her in the past and not in the future is what really got me. And of all the characters that handled the job, it just had to be Kisaki. The part where Mikey was carrying her to the hospital and he was remembering all the good times they spent together, and Emma's final words were to tell Draken that she loves him. Bro, when her arms went limp, a piece of me died with her, bro. And come on, Mikey adding more damage to my wound, telling her that Draken loves her too, he just doesn't want to admit it. And he pictured a life of them all grown together, spending time and laughing about the good old days when they were younger. What the hell, man? For me personally, I think this is probably a top 5 favorite new gen death that's been adapted. I think moments like this always hit harder when you're so unaware of it. And the stupid ending changes the picture for her death too, man. Yelling in my ears, say my name. Like, bro, I haven't even had a moment to breathe yet. Just the look on Mikey's face says how much of an impact Emma played in his life. He's completely heartbroken that he looks hollow inside. Then Draken gets furious and starts punching the shit out of Mikey. He's upset for a good reason. Mikey made Toman so that they can protect everyone within the gang. But Pachin got arrested, Baji died, Kazutoro got arrested, and now Emma died too. Plus a moment where we get to see a lot of emotion from someone like Draken, who usually doesn't like to show himself. He just starts crying. Just great scenes overall, just shows how impactful this moments are to their character. Next, my crybaby hero Takemichi. The stat line this boy put up this season is comparable to 2016 LeBron. Every season I watch this guy get better and better. Serious growth from this man, and he doesn't get talked about enough within the community. He's been the star of the show almost every season, constantly putting on a brave face whenever he can. And the best part is, I don't love his character because he can do a jump kick or punch someone 30 feet away. He's quite literally the opposite. Just a weak boy trying his best to save his friends to the best of his abilities without any power-ups or random plot armor or anything. It's as realistic as it gets. Well, aside from certain scenes, but you gotta take it with a grain of salt. It's the message that's more important, not how many punches Takemichi can withstand. A lot of crazy growth from this kid too. He spent a lot of the first season kind of relying on Mikey, and every season he's been slowly attempting to break away from that, and this season it really springs into action. Like, Takemichi's fight with Kisaki really had me at the edge of my seat. The beatdown they had in that parking lot had me standing up swinging with Takemichi. This man has caused so many problems for Takemichi. In the previous attempts, he killed Draken, manipulated Kazutora, killed Baji, killed Chifu in the future, messed up the Shiba sibling relationship, the man who keeps killing Hina over and over, and just recently this arc killed Naruto, Emma, and Izana. It's finally time to stand on business and get this job finished.
I'm the type of nigga, I'ma stand on business by my shit. Like, I give a nigga the shirt off my back.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. Tokyo Revengers seriously does a great job with fleshing out some of the characters in these arcs. A lot of different shonens really don't care much besides making them a one-trick pony, but in Tokyo Revengers, the author seriously attempts to develop a good handful of important characters per arc. Emma, Mikey, Hina, Angry, Draken, Kaku-chan, Izan. There's so many more people. They threw in at least 10 new characters in this arc to help keep the story fresh and engaging, with pretty cool character designs I must add. Some authors get in shit for kind of using a template for certain characters and giving them different designs, but it's clear the author had good intentions when creating new characters. Great character interactions and dialogue this arc too. A couple questionable scenes here and there, but for the most part pretty sturdy. Taiju and Naruto and Takemichi in the early arc, Shinshiro still being relevant to the story even though being dead because of his connections to so many of the younger delinquents like Izana, Kaku-chan reuniting with Takemichi since their childhood, Hajime and Saishu getting more depth into their character, Kanji plot twist being a part of the Black Dragons, Izana almost being a different version of Mikey with the way he can attract people towards his cause. A lot was going on. But there's one man who stood out to me like a clown who joined the military, Kisaki. Kisaki has been fighting tooth and nail to manipulate Mikey into helping him for something, but we never got what that something was until this arc. Yeah, his motivation was garbage. He's doing all this to become the #1 delinquent just so he can confess to Hina about his feelings? He's known that Hina had feelings for Takemichi. You're telling me he just couldn't let it go?
Yo, I'm down bad, bro.
If he was bullied or some shit when he was younger and decided to become a delinquent to get back, at least that would be less trashy. But this? Cherry on the shit pile was the sorry ass way he went out. He got hit by Truck-kun to hopefully a new anime. I'm an anime only, so I have no clue if he's really dead. But if he is, this is probably one of the worst way any shonen antagonist could go down. He had such a good resume building at first, but the author completely ruined it at the end. I know this is a low bar for Studio Linden Films, but they managed to actually animate the Tokyo Revengers arc decently. Throughout the previous 2 seasons, they've made nothing but a mockery to a lot of the major scenes throughout the show and did no justice to the manga adaptation. Actually, let me reword that. They do animate panel for panel, they just don't translate the author's art in the slightest. A good example of this last season would be Takemichi's popular Is Loneliness panel. I think the manga version is better. It looks like he's seriously injured when the anime version looks like he tripped and fell on the ground and got minor cuts and bruises. And his emotion and expression were shown way better in the manga compared to the anime. If Linden Films wants to animate Takemichi's cheeks 3 times bigger while running to save budget, I don't care. But they should at least put extra effort into big panels like these that fans are expecting to get adapted. This arc though, they did a pretty good job recreating certain manga panels into the anime. It's kind of crazy that I'm complimenting a studio for doing the bare minimum, but that's just the playing cards we've been dealt with. Next season of Tokyo Revengers, I'll make sure to watch weekly so that once it finishes airing, I can post a video a lot more relevant to the time it releases rather than 2 seasons later. Anyway, thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to press the like button if you enjoy this type of content and subscribe to keep up with all our newest uploads. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.